Hey, have you ever had an idea on your heart? A dream that feels so right, so perfect for you, but it stays locked away because of a tiny, nagging voice of doubt. You tell yourself you're not ready, it's not the right time, and most common one of all, who am I to do that? Well, today I'm going to share the very personal origin story of this podcast. A journey that started with years of insecurity and one powerful moment that finally pushed me to press record. We're going to explore those made-up barriers we all create and how to find the courage to finally take the next step. The other day, I had the immense honor of attending the YWCA of Rochester and Monroe County annual luncheon. And the keynote speaker was the one and only MC Light. Yes, the one and only MC Light. Now, if you know me, you know that I've always said that music saved my life. I have a very special place in my heart for female MCs as well. But what truly struck me wasn't just her presence. It was her story of growth. You see, she said that throughout every part of her career, she invested in her own development. She took acting classes for 2 years before she even started acting. And every time she evolved, she researched and she invested in herself and developed the skills she needed to pursue whatever she wanted. And it made me think, how often do we stop at the desire? We say, oh, I'd love to do that. But we don't take the next step of researching what we need to be successful. It brought me right back to 2019 when I started my doctoral program and learning all about wellness and workplace burnout. The World Health Organization had just classified burnout as an occupational phenomenon. And I was thinking, who knows this stuff? Like, wow, how do I get this information out there? The idea of the podcast was born, but so was doubt. And here's the transparent, vulnerable moment. Because of my own insecurities, I put that idea on the shelf. I kept doing presentations and consulted with leaders, but I knew I wasn't reaching everyone I could. So the thought of the podcast kept coming back, and it kept coming back, and it was always followed by a wave of self-negative talk. Who's going to listen to me? My voice sounds horrible. All these obstacles, these barriers, and I now realize they were completely made up. They were excuses my fear was creating to keep me comfortable in my insecurity. I'm going to repeat that. My fear was creating comfort for me. My emotional wellness was suffering, and I felt like a failure because I had this critical information to share, but my inner critic wouldn't let me. It was a heavy internal struggle. We'll dive into the moment that changed everything right after this short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. So for years, I was intensely wrestling with this podcast idea, creating a new barrier in my mind every time I thought about it. The weight of it was immense. Then in July, that thought came rushing back to me, and it wouldn't go away. And about 2 weeks later, one morning around 5 a.m., that time when you're in a light sleep just before waking up, I heard my dad, who passed away 3 years ago, whisper in my ear. I heard him clearly say, "You got this, kid. Let's go." And I even felt his breath against my ear. I immediately jumped out of bed and said, "I'm starting the podcast." And my husband, God bless his soul, just looked at me half asleep and said, okay, let's go. Come on. He never gave me a reason why I shouldn't, only supported why I should. That was the moment my mindset began to flourish. The fear was still there, but the purpose was finally louder. From that morning on, I evolved. I dove deep into researching everything, how to start, what a podcast even is, how to upload, how to market. I took MC Light's example and I invested in my own development. So you might be listening to this and thinking, that's great for you, Dr. C, but I'm overwhelmed. How do I actually start? Well, let's make it real simple. Here are 3 practical ways you can take today for any project big and small. First, name it. Get really clear on what you want to do. Write it down in one simple sentence. Take it out of your head and put it on paper, because then it makes it real. Second, shrink it. The big dream can be intimidating. So what is the smallest, tiniest first step you can take? Not launch the business, but Google domain names for 15 minutes. Not write a book, but maybe write a sentence, a paragraph. This is about creating forward motion, no matter how small. And third, share it. Tell one person you trust about your idea. The moment you say it out loud, you create accountability and you also invite support. Remember how my husband reacted? Find your cheerleader. Naming it, shrinking it, and sharing it, that's it. That's how you begin. And on September 3rd, after taking my own first steps, I released my first episode. And in just under a month, tomorrow it'll be a month that the Life podcast was launched. In just under a month, we have reached listeners in 7 countries and 72 cities. I have received messages from people about how an episode has helped them through a challenge, and that has brought so much joy to my heart because, after all, that was always the goal. So imagine if I had continued to listen to my fears. So I want to ask you, what made a barrier are you holding on to? Are your obstacles real, or are they a story you're telling yourself? If it's a story, it's time to reframe it. Your project, your gift is waiting for you. And I promise you, someone in this universe is waiting to receive your gift. Don't let perfection get in the way. My first episodes have volume issues and tones all over the place, but people aren't listening to that. They're not listening to the mistakes. They're listening to the message. So do it. Just start. So as we wrap up, my hope for you is this. Take the first brave step this week. Give yourself a dream. Give it a name. Make it real. Break it down into small steps. So small you can't say no. And share it. Share it with someone who will cheer you on and support you and talk to you about resources that may be available that you don't know about. That's it. That's the start. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need progress. Your gift is worth sharing. And someone out there is waiting to receive it. Until next time, keep on learning, stay inspired, continue to flourish, never stop evolving. I'm your host, Dr. C, and this is The Life